Thank you very, very much to President Scott. It's great to be back here at Chicago State to see all of you joining us this morning for this tremendous moment in our history. President Scott, I just want to point out to everybody, for those who don't know President Scott, she truly is one of the kindest and most thoughtful public servants that we have. She's a real force of nature. She makes things happen. I want to thank you very much, President Scott, for all that you do to lift up the students here at Chicago State and the community of Chicago State. So much has happened under your tenure that's been great for the institution, and I just want to make sure everybody knows it, and so I'm going to give you a big round of applause. This truly is a historic institution. Many of the legislators that are here today were part of the 2019 coalition to deliver for Illinois the largest infrastructure investment in the nation, which brought $84 million in renovations and expansions right here to Chicago State, including the new state-of-the-art nursing lab that was talked about. It'll propel more students into the healthcare profession, and frankly, the jobs in healthcare are plentiful, and so we want kids to come and learn and enter healthcare. The legislators that made that happen include many of the people who are here today: Leader Greg Harris, Leader Robin Gable, Senator L.G. Sims, Senator Michael Hastings, Representative Mike Zaleski, Representative Will Davis, and their many colleagues and staff, some not in the room today, but who deserve a good deal of respect for the work that they did on this budget. Democrats have worked together to deliver a fourth balanced budget in a row, and it's the second in a row with a surplus. Our state is in its strongest fiscal position in generations. And as a result, we are able to provide $1.8 billion in tax relief for our residents. Do you remember just 5 years ago when our state was held hostage by the former governor and the majority of the Republican Party? Violence interruption programs were destroyed. DCFS shut down 500 residential beds for our state's most vulnerable children. The developmentally disabled were forgotten. Our state's unpaid backlog of bills piled up to nearly $17 billion. And our state suffered 8 credit downgrades while sending 5 of our universities into junk credit status. Compare that to today. Investments in stronger schools, modernized airports and newly paved highways, hundreds of thousands of well-paying infrastructure jobs, a better funded pension system. These are just some of the kind of priorities that we can invest in when our state is governed responsibly, with a focus on working families and those who have too often been left out and left behind. A firm fiscal foundation means that we're investing in better education for our children, upgrading schools and classrooms, attracting more teachers, and expanding after-school programs and summer jobs. We're launching the pipeline for the advancement of the healthcare profession to recruit and train more students for high-demand medical careers. We've launched 2 advanced manufacturing training academies downstate and the nation's largest aviation institute of maintenance in Chicago. Balancing the budget allows us to stoke job creation across Illinois. We're providing grants to bars and restaurants and other small businesses, along with arts and cultural institutions, to help them manage through the financial recovery from the pandemic. And we're suspending licensing fees to provide a little extra help in their recovery. Balancing the budget allows us to help small businesses and community organizations get back on their feet and grow. We increased funding to its highest level ever for mental health care and substance use treatment. Everyone knows someone in need of help, and Illinois is finally increasing its capacity to help. That's what balancing a budget can do for Illinois families. If you want to reduce crime, you've got to solve crimes. So we're building on our gains in staffing the Illinois State Police by hiring the largest cadet class in years. We're funding the Gang Crime Witness Protection Program. And we're doubling patrols and expanding cameras and license plate readers on highways and state roads to stop expressway shootings. Communities are made safer when we properly balance the budget. We're making childcare more affordable than ever before, pairing more funding for providers with more support for families to access affordable care. Expanded preschool offerings and quality childcare are helping to make Illinois the best place in the nation to raise young children. Balancing the budget makes that possible. College students you're going to hear from, like Maria Sierra, like Nicoya Washington, and James Elam. 3 CSU students who are here sitting behind me will be able to access the largest college scholarship program the state has ever had. The budget The budget that I signed today includes record funding for those scholarships, for MAP grants, which will give more than 155,000 students financial aid so that they can attend CSU or any public university or community college in Illinois. And I'm particularly proud that this school year, for the very first time in more than 20 years, every eligible student who applies for a MAP grant for the current school year will receive an award. No waiting lists, no denials. We're putting $1 billion into the state's rainy day fund so that we won't have so many troubles the next time hard times hit our state. And we put an extra $500 million into our pensions, saving taxpayers nearly $2 billion in future interest payments and to make sure retirees get what they are owed. Balancing the budget allows us to save for the future and live up to our financial obligations. On all of these things, the only members of the General Assembly who voted to kick the can down the road and to stick you and your children with the bill were the Republicans who voted against it, who seem to prefer spelunking for misery over offering real solutions. Look, we all know that there's more work to be done to overcome the challenges of the pandemic recession, the fiscal mismanagement of the past, and the rising prices caused by worldwide inflation. But we've made tremendous progress. Democrats have passed a responsible budget that allows us to provide $1.8 billion in tax relief, reducing property taxes, grocery taxes, and sales taxes on back-to-school supplies, along with holding the line on gas taxes and sending a check for hundreds of dollars to more than 90% of Illinois families. Again, we're able to do that because we balanced the budget and we maintained a budget surplus. The budget that I'm signing today brings real improvements to the lives of working families and sets us up for a stronger fiscal future. Putting people first is what this budget is all about. And with that, I'm very pleased to turn this podium over to my friend and my partner, an experienced hand at state budgeting and Chicago State's own Senator, L.G. Sims.
Good morning. It is a great day here in the 17th District. Let me welcome all of you to the campus of Chicago State University, where great things are happening every day. As the governor mentioned, my name is L.G. Sims, and I have the honor and privilege of being the state senator of the 17th District. You hear that sound? That's the sound of Illinois being back on track. That's the sound of great things happening across this land. Several years ago, as the governor mentioned, we were on the brink of disaster. We had a governor who was trying to drive us into a ditch. But under Governor Pritzker's leadership, and under the leadership of Senate President Don Harmon and House Speaker Chris Welch, Illinois is on the right track. That sound you hear is bills being paid. That sound you hear are investments being made. That sound you hear is hope again here in the state of Illinois. That sound that you hear is as us investing in our children's future. Over $12 billion into education here in the state of Illinois. Now, that deserves a round of applause. My niece and her husband had a baby yesterday. And she, as I looked in my sister's face and I saw the hope in her eyes and the joy in her eyes, I thought about that young child's future. That's what this budget is all about. It's investing in that child's future, but it's also investing in tomorrow for seniors who during a pandemic didn't know where their next meal was going to come from. Crime survivors who suffered from trauma, who did not understand or didn't know that someone cared about them. This budget invests in making sure that those individuals have a shot at a brighter future. A budget's a moral document. You know, as many of you, yesterday was tax day. So we all got a chance when you're filing your taxes to look back over the year how you spent your money. Well, that's what Illinois is doing. We're looking at how we're spending our money. We're looking at how we are investing in people. Right now, that moral document says that Illinois is investing in a brighter future for its more than 12 million residents, for children, for seniors, for crime survivors, for business owners who didn't know if they were going to be able to make it. We made sure that we invested millions of dollars in helping them keep their doors open so that they could survive, because that is what our obligation is. Now, there are some who will tell you that there are political games in play. Well, the only political games in play are those who vote for the tax cuts but won't vote for the investments. There are those who are standing on the sideline talking about crime is increasing, but they are the ones who are the only ones voting to defund police. They didn't vote for additional investments in creating public safety initiatives that will truly make our communities safer. The goal is ensuring that Illinois is back on track. Several years ago, we were running into the ditch, but now, after passing balanced budget after balanced budget, we've got not one, but 2 credit rating upgrades for the first time in a generation. And that only happens because of the leadership of the individuals sitting behind me. But we need your help. We need your help to continue to stay the course with us. We need your help to ensure that we are continuing to make a brighter day for Illinois families, because that is what we are obligated to do. So with that, I want to turn it over to my partner, my friend, House Majority Leader, Representative Greg Harris.
And before I start talking about the budget, I just want to talk about Senator Sims for a minute. Talk about a trooper. You may notice down by his feet there are some crutches. Senator Sims was in a pretty bad accident just before the budget season started and had to undergo surgery. And although it was extremely difficult and very painful for him to travel down to Springfield and stay there for months and do these negotiations to make sure that other folks had health care and other families were taken care of, Senator Sims persevered, and I just want to give him a round of applause for the sacrifices he made. But as other people talked about, I also want to talk about what having a balanced budget means for folks in Illinois. And you've heard how the budget we passed is helping families, how it's helping seniors, how it's helping folks with child care, how it's helping folks recover from mental illness and substance abuse. But also we know for families to be successful and thrive, folks need jobs. And this budget is about building our businesses and building our jobs in Illinois as well. We're helping to bring back workers whose jobs were put at risk by the pandemic. In my neighborhood, I'm in the 13th district on the far north side of Chicago. We don't have big manufacturing plants. We don't have a lot of open space. Our businesses, our neighborhood businesses, retailers, hospitality, bars, restaurants, museums, cultural institutions, theaters, dance, that's where thousands and thousands of folks work in my neighborhood. And we put money in this budget to help all those institutions recover and to bring back their workers and to give them the pay that they deserve to come in and do their jobs. As the governor said, we're also investing not only in returning people to their jobs, but in tens of thousands of new jobs for the people of Illinois. Tens of thousands alone in the construction industry in our capital program. In this budget also, we are incentivizing high-tech manufacturers to bring thousands of jobs back to Illinois in such things as advanced battery technology and other high-tech fields that are just beginning to develop. We're investing in the hydrogen economy so that Illinois becomes a leader in economies of the future, and we're also expanding our impact in attracting electric vehicle manufacturers to the state of Illinois, which will provide thousands of good-paying manufacturing jobs, in every corner of the state. But importantly, we're also focusing on stabilizing families. The governor mentioned the property tax checks folks will be getting, the grocery tax relief and the gas tax relief. But we also realize that there are whole groups of people who have been struggling, who because of their income may not take advantage of some of those things, and we want to be sure that they get benefits also. So we are expanding the earned income tax credit. We're making it eligible for folks, I believe it's 18 or 19 and up, and also folks 64 and older, seniors. It's a refundable credit so that everyone benefits. We're also making sure that our immigrant and refugee communities who file as I-10 filers are covered, and their families will get benefit and not left behind either. So we're trying to lift up all families. We're trying to lift up our businesses. We're trying to grow our businesses. We're trying to create more jobs. Just proud to be here with the folks who made it happen, who voted yes on the budget, who voted yes to move Illinois forward. And now it's my, yay. And it's my honor to introduce, my colleague to the north of me, Representative Leader Robin Gable.
They say good things come in small packages. So it is really my pleasure to be here this morning. And I do want to add my voice to this chorus of people really touting what an amazing budget this is. My name is Representative Robin Gable. And this morning, Governor Pritzker will be signing a budget that shores up our financial footing and puts a down payment on the future success of our state. This budget not only improves Illinois' long-term fiscal stability, it also puts money back into the pockets of working families by providing much-needed tax relief. Some people see a budget as a spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers, but here at this podium, we know that a good budget is just so much more. A good budget, like the one Governor Pritzker is signing today, prioritizes children, families, and communities by investing in things like early childhood education, affordable housing, violence prevention, after-school programs, and our children's savings accounts so more children can go to college. A good budget continues to build a solid fiscal foundation for our state and puts money back into the pockets of working people. And a good budget is something you only get with real leadership and collaboration. Months of hearings and conversations with stakeholders led to this result, and I'm proud to stand here today with Governor Pritzker and my colleagues. This team is truly getting things done for the people of Illinois. Now it is my pleasure to introduce my colleague and my friend, Representative Michael Zaleski.
Just lift it back up a little bit. Thank you to everybody. My name is Representative Mike Zaleski, and I'd be remiss if I didn't also salute our top budget negotiator, leader Greg Harris. If you'd have told us five years ago in the summer of 2017, an endless summer, that when we were on the brink of insolvency and the controller was telling us any day catastrophe could hit, that 5 years later we'd be standing here with a balanced budget, a surplus, I think Greg would have thought you were a little crazy. So he has been the comeback kid for the state of Illinois. He deserves everyone's round of applause. As chairperson of the House Revenue and Finance Committee, I'm used to telling a lot of people no, and this year was very much different. We were able, for the first time, to permanently expand the EITC. We were able to help people at the grocery store. We were able to help people at the gas pump. We were able to help teachers who go out of their way to purchase school supplies for their kids every year. This is a budget, and this is a tax code we can be proud of. A tax code where everybody who needs the help right now gets it. This is inflation relief. This is something that we should all be proud of. I'd like to thank all my colleagues who supported it. I would like to salute the governor and the lieutenant governor for their support throughout, for letting lawmakers do the job of the people. I'm incredibly proud of the work we did here today, and I can't wait for the future of the state of Illinois, because Illinois is on the comeback. And now I'd like to turn it over to a champion for the southwest suburbs, my colleague, my friend, Senator Mike Hastings.
Morning, everybody. Well, that's pretty loud there. I want to first say thanks to Governor Pritzker and to Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton for their leadership. When Governor Pritzker came to the state of Illinois, he told everyone to think big, and that included the capital plan, one of the best energy investments our state has seen. And now we have consecutive balanced budgets, and we're able to provide relief to taxpayers. I want to mention a few people that are here today from the Senate. Senator Pastione-Zayas, Senator Martwick, Senator Peters, Senator Aquino, Senator Joyce, Hunter, and Villanueva. These are the champions in the Senate of working class people, whether you're black, whether you're brown, whether you're low income, whether you're middle class. These are our champions in the Senate that work day in and day out for folks across Illinois. And we're honored, we should be honored to have great public servants. There's local elected officials that are here today as well from the Fighting 19th. We call it the Greater Southwest Suburbs of Chicago. Mr. Calvin Jordan and his mom, Minnie Jordan, are here, and Sugar Alameen. Thank you very much for being here. You know, we have the honor of serving the people of Illinois, and our primary job is to take care of folks and to help them when they're in their time of need. Our state is recovering from one of the greatest public health crisis that our state and our country and our world has seen in more than a century. And when you go door to door, and when you go block to block, and when you go neighborhood to neighborhood, and you hear the struggles of working class folks, they say that their property taxes, they worry about paying them. When they go to the grocery store, they don't know if they're going to pay $3 or $5 for a gallon of milk. A gallon of milk, they're worrying about that. Buying a package of meat. Going to the gas station and paying $5 a gallon. People worry about, those are real worries from real people. And then when you listen to all the Nancy naysayers of the world, the state of Illinois is broke. The state of Illinois can't manage their finances. The state of Illinois doesn't know how to balance their checkbook. Well, this budget and this relief plan helps all of those people. All of those people. You can clap for that too. That's okay over there. I heard that. You're going to get a few cents off at the pump. You're not going to pay sales tax at your groceries. And for the working class moms and dads of the world who have to go and buy school supplies and school clothes for your kids, we're going to have a sales tax holiday from August 5th to the 14th. That's a great thing for working class people. Minnie Jordan, who has a house out in the south suburbs, who pays her property taxes, is going to get a refund this year. That's a very good thing for her. But the point I'm trying to make here is this, is that is that our job as politicians, our jobs as public servants is to help the people of Illinois. This bill, this budget bill, and this financial relief package does that. And to Governor Pritzker, again, I'm proud that you're going to sign this bill. I'm proud of your leadership and the leadership that we have in our state of Illinois. And if the residents of Illinois, I want you just to listen and watch what happens in the next few years. Illinois is back, and Illinois is strong, and you can be proud to live in the state of Illinois. God bless you all. Thank you very much for your time. The second time I did that. Maria Sierra is one of our great college students who's going to come here next. I just want to introduce her and give her a warm round of applause. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Maria Sierra. I'm currently a sophomore at pre-nursing student here at Chicago State University. I'm from Illinois and I attended Victoria Soto, a Chicago public school. During my 2 years at Chicago State, I have been part of the RISE Academy, a scholarship program that provides financial, academic, and personal support for eligible students. I'm also a recipient of the MAP grant. It has made me extremely honored and grateful to be able to receive the MAP grant. On college decision day, I was still undecided. We were attending classes virtually and my options were very limited due to the inability to visit college campuses. Selecting the right college was a family decision, and all because of my current family financial complications, it made it even more difficult. However, the moment I read the email from Chicago State University explaining the RISE Academy program, I shared the information with my family, and I knew Chicago State would be the school for me. As a first-generation student, the financial burden was removed, and the pressure of achieving my goal of becoming a nurse became more of a reality. I want to thank you all for this opportunity to speak about being a recipient of the MAP grant. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce my classmate, Nicoya Washington.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicoya Washington. I'm an Illinois resident, first-generation graduating senior majoring in criminal justice. I transferred from the City Colleges of Chicago. In 2021, I received the honor of being named the Lincoln Academy of Illinois Student Laureate. I've had opportunities to intern. I've had opportunities to intern with the U.S. Senate's Office, the U.S. Department of HUD, Pritzker Traubert Foundation, the City of Chicago, and Chicago Transit Authority, all while being a single mother raising 3 beautiful daughters with maintaining a GPA above 3.7. A few months ago, I had the privilege of meeting with the Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton. When she visited Chicago State, she asked us, what is it that the state could do for students? I told her students needed more money to fund their education. With funding from the MAP grant, students will not only earn a degree without accumulating debt, but access to better opportunities and greater social capital. To Governor Pritzker, the Governor's Office, and the Illinois State Assembly, thank you for investing in the future of students in Illinois. Now I'd like to introduce you to my classmate, James Elam.
Thank you, Nicoya. Good morning, everyone. My name is James Elam, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and a product of Chicago Public Schools. I'm the current Vice President of the Student Government Association here at Chicago State University and an active member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and a residential assistant for the Residence Hall here on campus. I'm a criminal justice major with an expected graduation date of 2023. I'm a recipient of the MAP grant, and receiving this grant has been beneficial in reducing my college debt and covering my tuition and mandatory fees I'm expected to pay. Attending Chicago State University was important to me because it allowed me to remain close to home in Illinois while living in the residence hall. CSU has afforded me the opportunity to have a robust campus experience close to home, And thank you for today's opportunities to speak. And now I would like to introduce Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Juliana Stratton, and I use she, her pronouns. Thank you so much, James, for that warm introduction. And I commend you, Maria, and Nicoya for sharing your stories in such a powerful and meaningful way. And as always, thank you, Governor Pritzker, for your commitment to steering our state into a brighter future with the families and communities that make Illinois so great at the forefront. The governor has already acknowledged the incredible leadership and collaboration by members of the General Assembly. So in the interest of time, I'll just say thank you all for your hard work this legislative session and for getting this budget over the finish line, as well as your commitment to moving our state forward. I also want to take a moment to shine a light on our host today, Chicago State University. What a better way to celebrate our investments into the future of our state than to do so here at this institution of education where the next generation is being. Back in January, my team and I were welcomed to this campus as part of our initiative to build a strong, diverse teacher pipeline. And I'll repeat something that I said to President Scott and other leadership, faculty, and students in the School of Education. We see you, we value you, and we are here for you. And this balanced budget is a testament to that with its historic investments in education. It is an amazing $12 billion for education that includes an additional $350 million toward evidence-based funding for K through 12 public schools. You see, investing in the futures of students across our state, especially those from marginalized backgrounds that have historically been locked out from educational opportunities, this is a matter of equity. We're opening doors for all learners, from our earliest learners to college, by providing close to $55 million in additional funding for early childhood education, and a one-year $122 million increase to the monetary award program, bringing that total of MAP grants to $601.5 million. And that's a real difference maker for our college students. Now, the maximum award amounts will cover 50% of tuition at public colleges and universities. Now, just yesterday, I was in Macomb, on the campus of Western Illinois University. And I spoke with some brilliant students in the teacher preparation program about college affordability and expanded pathways for rural students. And when I asked them why they decided to go this route, one student simply said it this way: education is powerful. Everyone in this room knows that access to education can change the trajectory of a student's life, their families' lives, and an entire community. The doors that will be opened, the opportunities created demonstrate that we believe in every child in our state and we want them to know what's possible for their future. If we say that every child, regardless of zip code or economic background, deserves access to a quality education, it should be reflected in our budget, and it is. And if we say that we want to make college more affordable and thereby lift up working families across Illinois, it should be reflected in our budget, and it is. And if we say that our youngest, most vulnerable children deserve the very best start in life as their brains are developing the most, it should be reflected in our budget, and it is. This budget is a reflection of our values and our priorities, and it makes it abundantly clear that here in Illinois, our priority is equitable and affordable education for all, and that is worth celebrating. So with that, I am so excited to invite Governor Pritzker to come forward to sign this fiscal year 2023 budget into law. Thank you.
Down front.
This is for the kids.
Back to the podium, and we'll take questions from members of the media. Everybody take their
You want the
seats.
budgeteers with you?
Sure. Well, I want to point out a couple of things. One is, yes, we are providing property tax relief in this budget. So I'm very proud of that. Hundreds of dollars will go back into people's pockets that otherwise they wouldn't have had as a result of our balancing this budget and maintaining a surplus. Second, we've done quite a lot to reduce the burden of rising property taxes. Let me give you an example. For over 75 years, governors and general assemblies had worked to try to consolidate police and fire pension plans across the state. And we put together 2 years ago a plan that the General Assembly passed with bipartisan support to consolidate those police and fire pension plans. What does that do? It alleviates the pressure, the upward pressure on property taxes that are caused by increasing pension burdens across the state. Already we've seen tens of millions of dollars of relief that's come from that in the fire pensions, and we expect that we will see that for police pensions coming over the next 2 years.
Any future plans, though? So that passed. Property taxes remain a major burden. Is that something you're contemplating? I think there was supposed to be task force that never even issued a report.
We're always looking to do that. Let me remind you, though, that in order for us to make those kinds of significant changes, we have to continue to balance the budget, and it would be great if we could run a surplus, because all of that can be used, theoretically, for property tax relief or other kinds of family relief that we're sending back to people. But we're always looking for ways to do it. You know, there's been a bill that's been looking at something somewhat complex that never gets covered, the PTEL, and whether or not those limits are adhered to. So we're going to continue to work on that. I think that there are a lot of proposals that have been made that we ought to be working on getting through.
Are you confident that the changes that were made in CEJA and to utility law are going to be enough to withstand this attempt by ComEd to increase rates Ameren as well, so we've got both ComEd and Ameren eating up all of the relief that is guaranteed in this budget. Public Interest Research Group says Illinois whiffed on its opportunity to change the rate formula to prevent that.
Actually, that's not true at all. We in fact did quite a lot to limit the upward trajectory of people's bills. Remember that maintaining our nuclear fleet, making sure that we're enhancing our solar and our wind energy production in the state, those all work to help us keep the people's bills, their electric bills, down. And I want to point out that there's more that we will continue to do, but we're doing this in a gradual fashion that preserves jobs and makes sure that we're addressing the challenges that we've seen from these large companies. Last thing I want to say on this subject, because I think it's important, is I said a couple of years ago in my State of the State speech that we weren't going to let utility companies write the bill that we passed, the climate bill, and we didn't. And in fact, we held down significantly what they otherwise were getting years ago in FEJA. We managed to get essentially energy at 1/6 the subsidy that was given back during FEJA. So 5 years later, under a new administration, with the members of the General Assembly working alongside us, we saved ratepayers quite a lot of money.
In the face of changes to federal mask guidance, especially on transportation, are you planning to take any action on the state level to require masks in additional spaces? Thoughts on that?
No additional thoughts. I think the federal government has, as you know, they had extended for 15 days. There was a ruling yesterday that interfered with that. But our plans and our mitigations are in place as they have been. We want to encourage local governments and businesses to take actions that they think will keep their patrons, their local residents safe. And we're going to continue to report on how we're doing as a state, very importantly, so that people can take the kind of mitigation measures home and decide for themselves how they want to operate. Yeah.
John Lausch announced that Jason Van Dyke won't face federal charges. What's your opinion of that decision?
I would have liked to have seen more done there. Honestly, it concerns me, but I also know that quite a lot of work was put in to determine whether or not there should be further charges. Frankly, I don't think it's a great outcome, and it's something that I've said before that sometimes our system of justice isn't truly just, and that's one of the reasons why we've had to make some adjustments in it. And so, we're going to continue to evaluate how we make that system more just. Thank you.